A transporter driven through France, carrying hope. June 19th, 1965. The temperature soaring into the 90s. The road to Le Mans, hot, dusty, too short. Only a few hours left before a race 24 hours long, swathed in the biggest ballyhoo known to a sport of shouting engines and screaming tires. Here begins motor racing's Mardi Gras, the 24 du Mans. And from Britain, from Germany, from America, from Italy, come the procession of mechanics and drivers determined to dance their prize bull of highly tuned metal into the spotlight. Once a year, Le Mans is transformed. Once a year, a small town southwest of Paris competes with Paris for world attention. But it's international competition which draws the crowds, and international prestige which prompts manufacturers to spend vast sums on producing a car to flout the laws of endurance. Car number 31 is one of the hopes carried from Britain. No one believes it will win the race, but then no one knows. For 31 is the gas turbine entry of Rover BRM, a car round an engine which has become the source of much and varied speculation. Never before in a race has gas turbine competed with piston engine on equal terms. But the news flooding in surrounds only the two mighty forces of Ford and Ferrari. This is the year of Ford's great challenge, an American invasion on the supremacy of the Italian giants. 10 Fords, 11 Ferraris, 7 Porsches, 4 Alfa Romeos. And against this, the Rover BRM stands very much alone. Success at last seems on hand for Ford chief Carroll Shelby and the lap record-breaking Phil Hill. For the low Isogrifo, much the same position as the gas turbine. A lone entry against a might of fit and fast teams. Against the long-established piston engine, no casual observer can relate his admiration for brilliant mechanics with the gas turbine. For here is a world where admiration is certainly an extension of knowledge. And the knowledge of most stops short of the principles through which this car is powered. It rests with the esoteric few like Noel Penny, who prefers the title engineer, but in fact is nothing short of a scientist.
The development of the Rover BRM dates back to World War II, when the Rover company was manufacturing jet aircraft engines, which ultimately formed the basis upon which Rolls-Royce built up their jet power domination. At the end of the war, a production team headed by the late Maurice Wilks, Frank Bell, designer Spen King, and later Peter Wilks, looked into the problems of converting the jet engine to power a motor car. Obviously, no existing engine could meet this requirement, and it was necessary to hand-build a small and compact gas turbine unit. This first engine had a capacity of 100 brake horsepower. By 1948, an engine was developed with double the capacity. Again, built by hand, it was the largest unit that could be installed in an existing car. The car, in effect, was a straightforward production model with the roof hacked off. And it was this strange alliance of gas turbine engine and businessman's limousine which in 1952 achieved 152.9 miles an hour and established the first official world speed record for gas turbine cars. Jet 1, as this car was known, was of course the first car in the world to be propelled by a gas turbine engine. In 1956, a sports saloon was specially designed round a gas turbine engine rather than pose the problem again of fitting the engine into the space provided by a production vehicle. T3, as this second gas turbine was called, was the first truly demonstrable product to follow the formation of the newly floated Rover Gas Turbine Company. Above all, it emphasized the inherent desirability of the gas turbine engine as applied to a motor car. The next development involved T4, the latest Rover gas turbine prototype designed with future production in mind. Its engine is mounted at the front and is capable of 115 miles an hour. Despite the brainpower connected with gas turbine development, the greatest advantage it has over its piston engine rival is simplicity. Neither clutch nor gear change are needed. By its nature, the car incorporates perfect automatic transmission, and compared with the conventional engine, there are very few moving parts. But there were headaches. One in particular, which threatened to squash pride puffed up by a British gas turbine car, fuel consumption. Motor Industry's Proving Ground, 1963. No thought of fuel consumption here. Only the thought that dogs the pre-Le Mans practice of any driver, any mechanic, any car built to withstand 24 hours of tremendous grueling. The thought that something must go wrong. The fear that not enough time has been allowed to perfect an engine. True enough, the car was not formally competing at the 63 Le Mans, but the gas turbine engine had at last stepped over the footlights to face the full glare of publicity. For the crowds who cheer or fall silent, 00, a lone entry, was a car to watch. The end of the race found the gas turbine conclusively proved. All pointed to its future success, except the hard-headed few who again brought up the unresolved problem of fuel consumption. Looking beyond this moment, there were those who realized the car would have to achieve greater economy to hold the headlines. In 1964, a new Rover BRM was built to face the rigors of Le Mans. Again, Graham Hill was at the wheel. But this time, during practice, the car's engineers were concerned